Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, which is on cost and resource optimization with smart business planning. My name is Rahul Singh, Senior Manager, Solution Sales at DX Sherpa Technologies. This webinar is jointly hosted by DX Sherpa and ServiceNow. DX Sherpa is a premier level ServiceNow partner. We work with large enterprises to achieve their digital transformation goal using highly advanced ServiceNow cloud platform. In today's webinar, we'll be focusing on ServiceNow IT Business Management module, which provides a project and portfolio management solution that helps its customers improve capital and resource optimization while accelerating project to time value. Now, as we proceed with the webinar, let me first introduce our key speakers today. First, we have Sridhar Durairajan, Head ITX Sales at ServiceNow India. Sridhar will be taking us and giving us an overview of ServiceNow ITBM module and explain us how to deliver business outcomes with speed and agility. Next, we have Lakshman Kumar, ITX Solution Sales at ServiceNow India. He will be giving a demo on ITBM module. And finally, we have Mayur Kamble, Senior Consultant at DX Sherpa Technologies. He will be discussing some of the use cases and customer success stories. And lastly, before I proceed further, let me inform you guys, that you can post all your questions in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. Our experts are open for all the questions you might have, and we can discuss those at the end of the webinar. So now I will go ahead and hand over to our speakers, starting with Sridhar. Over to you.
Hey Rahul, thank you very much for the opening remarks. Very good afternoon, everyone. I'm really very happy and excited to meet you all through this forum. And I hope all of you, your family and friends are keeping well and staying safe. Let me quickly bring up my slides. Hope it's visible.
Yes, Sridhar, it is.
Cool. Okay. So ServiceNow IT Business Management is a very extensive topic. One second, I'll just turn off my webcam. I think it's kind of coming in the way. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. So as I said, ServiceNow IT Business Management is a very extensive topic, and in the interest of time, today we are going to keep it concise. And if any of you are interested, we would love to catch up for a detailed discussion offline. Please do reach out to us. We'll be really keen to take this discussion ahead with you. And then in today's session, we are going to talk about how ServiceNow ITBM can help you to align your IT initiatives in order to accelerate your time to value. Now, how can deliver faster using different delivery methodologies, be it the traditional waterfall to modern agile scrum, and the hybrid delivery methodologies. And most of all, you may be aware, ServiceNow is a platform of platform. ServiceNow ITBM is integrated with the service management and operation management capabilities and with our customer and employee workflows, which typically allows you to manage both the strategic and operational work in one place. But before we begin, I'd like to take you through a short video. As you're aware, ServiceNow is an enterprise digital workflow company, and we strongly believe behind every great experience, there is a great workflow. And our creative team has come up with this interesting video to highlight the art of possible with ServiceNow. Let's take a look.
It's been a tough year, and now with Q4 wrapping up, the North Pole has to be feeling the heat.
It's okay, Santa. Let's workflow it.
Workflow it?
With the Now platform, we can catch problems before customers even know they're problems.
Wait, a hose? What kid wants a hose?
I don't know. An aspiring gardener? It's his hose.
It says horse, not a hose. Cedric, get over here.
And with IT workflows connecting our business end to end, we can avoid having another meltdown.
He just melted all over the floor.
You searched through so many systems, you just collapsed.
Now our people can collaborate across silos, even from across the globe.
So how's the new place? It's a 4-bed, 2.5-bath igloo and half the property tax. It's great. Yeah, but you have to live in the south.
Sir,
Wait, are you sure?
yes, we're that productive now.
You hear that? The kids get twice the presents.
About time 2020 gave us some good news.
Whatever your business is facing, let's work well. ServiceNow.
That's an interesting one, isn't it? And though it's funny, it resonates a lot with our today's business challenges that we face across the organization. Sorry about that. So what I like the most in this video is the final statement. It's about time that 2020 gave us some good news, and we are hoping to give you that good news through this ITBM webinar. Moving on. In today's competitive business world, digital transformation has been identified as one of the topmost strategic priority for every organization. And especially with this pandemic like COVID, digital transformation has been accelerated by most of the organization across the globe. As per a recent study, the worldwide spend on digital transformation is expected to reach $2.3 trillion per year in 2023. And it's growing at a CAGR of 17%. Can you believe 53% of the ICT spend is going to be on digital transformation initiatives? We are talking about a massive amount of investment to fuel this digital transformation initiatives. And if all these digital transformation projects are executed well, this could be a great launching pad for organizations to skyrocket their growth. If not, they are going to fall flat on the launching pad itself. Let's look at what's driving these behavior. If you look at the CXO imperatives, be it a CIO, CTO, or a chief digital officer, they want to shift their focus from run the business to grow the business, and then ultimately to transform their business. Their key objective is to drive innovation so that they can create competitive advantage to grow their business. Things like connected devices, smart factories, digital oil fields, and contactless healthcare, etc., etc. But more often than not, they don't have the right set of tools to flawlessly execute their vision. Let's see why it's happening. If you look at typically every organization will have two types of projects coming their way. One will be strategic in nature, and the other one is the operational one, primarily to keep the lights on. And they follow from traditional to modern agile delivery methodologies in every organization. From a strategic project standpoint, this will be aligned with their business initiatives and goals to the lines of new product development, maybe launching new services or introducing new business models so that they get competitive advantage. Investments in tools and technologies to transform their employee and customer experience. Also to the likes of big data or data lake sort of stuff in order to process massive amount of information in order to get deeper insights into the customer behavior. But IT team has been heavily pulled down instead of focusing on the strategic initiatives to look after the mundane operational work that they need to do, to the likes of problem management, change management, enhancements to their existing technology stack, as well as business services. If you look at it, IT teams all over the place, and they use multiple tools to perform their work. They lack a comprehensive visibility across what's going on, because of which there is a massive productivity loss. According to a Gartner study, IT team spends nearly 3/4 of their time in just the operational work, basically to keep their lights on, and only 1/4 of their time is spent on transforming the business. More importantly, 9.9% of every dollar spent is getting wasted because of the poor project execution. That is where ServiceNow can help you in terms of transforming your business. Here at ServiceNow, our approach is basically to consolidate both the strategic as well as operational work under one demand pipeline, and then carry on with your entire value stream in one single location. If you look at it, everything right from ideation to demand management to your demand pipeline basically, and then the business and application portfolio management, and then project and portfolio planning, and finally execution. be it any methodology, waterfall, agile, scrum, scrum of scrums, and then scaled agile frameworks or hybrid, whatever you prefer as an organization, all of which you'll be in a position to automate the end-to-end value chain in one single platform. With this, the IT team will get a great amount of visibility into their business and align with their business priority and create value. Typically, the IT service life cycle consists of 4 stages: plan, build, operate, and manage. On the left-hand side, if you see, the operate and manage is basically about running the business. There you can leverage IT service management or IT operation management solutions from ServiceNow to gain a look and then make sure you're able to run the business flawlessly. And ServiceNow ITBM helps you to complete your IT service lifecycle vision by providing you the visibility into all kind of work that comes across your way. Thereby, it allows you to align with the business priorities and deliver project at the speed of business through whichever delivery methodologies which you are comfortable with. And you'll be able to manage everything from ideation till releasing those products. And then subsequently go on to manage, operate and manage using one single platform on ServiceNow. By looking at the comprehensive capabilities of ServiceNow ITBM, leading market analysts like IDC has rated ServiceNow as a leader in the IT project and portfolio management category. And not just that, market analysts like Gartner have rated ServiceNow even in the first year of entry as a challenger in the enterprise agile planning magic quadrant. And we are very confident we'll be soon reaching to the leadership position. These are some of the customers who are leveraging ServiceNow ITBM to transform their business. And we are also proud to announce that we use our own ServiceNow ITBM for managing our projects. By leveraging that, we could improve our project time to value by about 22% and reduce the defects in products and services by 78%. We drink our own champagne, and by doing so, we have benefited a lot by using our own solution. And we have over 3,000 customers across the world using ServiceNow ITBM solution to transform your business. We'll be happy to work with you to see how we can enable to better execute your projects and thereby transform your business. With this, I'll hand it over to Lakshman to run you through a quick demonstration of ServiceNow ITBM. Over to you, Lakshman. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sridhar. Am I audible, Sridhar?
Yes, Lakshman, I'll just quickly make you a presenter.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Great. Thank you so much, team, for participating in this webinar. And thank you so much, Sridhar, to give us a very high-level view of what ServiceNow ITBM portfolio is all about, starting from ideation or till the completion of the project and the run part of it, which typically takes care with the service management layer, right? So let me start this demo with executive level dashboards, right? We talk about the visibility, how we are well aligning with the business while executing the project, and how quickly we are going to deliver those projects, right, in a real time, so that we are up to the speed of how the market is growing, right? So that is where the 3 very important things, which is very important from an executive standpoint, is: can I have a visibility across my spends? Can I have a alignment between my IT team or my different business functions with the executive level people? And what is the velocity, how I'm driving my projects across my board, right? So the particular dashboard which you are seeing on the screen, we have an out-of-the-box offering which will help you to bring out the dashboards with all the information related to your expenses for the particular year, how you are growing over a period of time, right? You can see the trend in the back end of this report, which is from FY18 to FY19, and what is the actual benefits you are going to get out of these projects, what is my applications business value, what is the CSAT, what are all the projects which are in red. You can able to see a lot of information from a management standpoint, right? As a CIO, I logged in here. If I'm a CIO of the organization, what really matters for me, right? How many projects I'm executing, what is the investment, what is the benefit, and how well I am aligned with my organization's projects or the strategies, which is part of my initiatives or operational based projects, etc. Right? What is my capex, opex? What is the benefits versus investments I am making on? So different type of a dashboards, which is typically needed from the executive level. And these dashboards are not just a representation of the data, but it's all just built on data's live reports. In a real world, if you ask me the status of the project, people typically look for an Excel sheet or an MPP sheet and tell you that this is the status of the project. But with the help of ServiceNow, you can able to see the real-time dashboard, which will tell you the real-time risk issues associated with each and every project across the landscape. And the third one is velocity, right? You can able to see the milestones, velocity across the portfolios. You may have a lot of projects running on the organization under multiple different buckets of portfolios, whether it is IT, HR, or business functions, or sales team, CRM, workday, something, whatever the group of people or group of business unit you're having, you can able to visualize those kind of informations from an executive standpoint. And also I want to show you another dashboard from a demand manager, right? As a CIO, I also want to see what are all the new ideas are coming into the organization, both strategic in nature or operational in nature, right? Say for example, I'm giving a leverage my employees' ideas to be incorporated as a part of my growth strategy. That's maybe a CIO thought, right? So I'll ask my employees to go and look for an ideas within the organization portal where they can go and give thumbs up, comment on the different types of ideas posted by the employees, or you can go ahead and create your new idea. For an example, I want to have a smart office. Smart office is a kind of an initiative which a typical employee may be interested in, right? It may be coming under a new project or process improvement product or something like that, right? Maybe a new product, right? Enhanced employee experience. If I have a smart office as an initiative which I'm triggering from a employee is triggering it, right? I'm just an employee. I feel like many companies are transforming the work life culture, so I want to just put an idea that I want to enhance my employee experience by just creating a smart office. That's an idea posted by the employee. As a what you call as your demand manager or a CIO who is going to look at all those ideas and converting all whether these ideas may really make sense for my company or not, right? That's where you're generating more and more demand. The second type of demand, how you're generating the demand is if you are in the part of a sales team, right? If you are a services company, if you are a manufacturing, FMCG kind of companies, you always ended up generating more and more demands, or you call it as a pipeline from your end user, right? From your market itself, right? The sales pipelines, right? So that is where you're generating more and more demands, and accordingly you start analyzing those demands in terms of whether it's really qualified, whether I can invest on such strategies or not, and then you take you through the project and roll it out, right? That's how the life cycle goes through, right? And this is another dashboard which will give you an insights on your overall ideation, demand generation, and the pipeline analysis, right? How your overall demand to the closure looks like. Typically, it will help you to drive your investments accordingly, where it typically needs more and more, I can say like the interest towards, right? And these dashboards are not just representation. Again, I'm telling you, so much of data is needed for a business management, right? I'm running a business. It's not a small company, right? I am an enterprise having hundreds of BUs, thousands of people, and multiple projects across the organization. Something maybe a 1 week project, something will be a year plus projects. So there will be a lot of projects are running on day to day. It is needed to be updated to the management level and the CFO level. With that, I'll just move on to a next person in the organization, maybe a portfolio manager, right? So CIO may have a different kind of look and feel on the data, but when I go little drill down, maybe a kind of a program manager or a portfolio manager, he or she may have a different look of the same data in a different dimension, right? I take care of, say, a certain portfolio. For an example here, I'll take off only IT as a portfolio underneath, or a business unit as an overall project manager or a program manager. I want to see what all the projects are running, what is my planned cost, planned benefits, estimated time of completion, so on, so different parts of it. It's again drill downing of a data, right? In the current state, in many organizations, if I say project management, they just look at an MPP sheet or an Excel sheet where they just track the your project life cycle, and rest all things will be in a scattered or a siloed manner. Somewhere you maintain the resource related information, somewhere you maintain the financial aspects of it. You may have a different tool for doing a test management like Jira or development life cycle with Jenkins or GitHub. But this one platform, now you can able to see that all the cost element, the project life cycle will also be part of it. The test management, your agile development or waterfall model of development, everything will be coming under one roof. So I'll go one by one with the pipeline. So this is example of one dashboard where a PMO is going to look at, and PMO has a whole set of other activities like assessments or surveys. For example, there is a demand came and the demand manager is inputting a lot of information in terms of whether it is really needed for the organization or not, justification of the demand, what is the investments he is going to make, what is the return of investment he is anticipating. All those information is going to put across the thing, and the risk assessment part of it, they're very important. When I'm going to approve a project, what is the risk and issues I'm going to take care of it. So all those information will be part of my assessments and service. And if I have any demands generating to be a project, there will be a detailed set of assessment has to be fulfilled by the CIOs. Right. Coming back to the PMO dashboard. Right. And you can click on the project health, right? As a program manager or a portfolio manager, I also want to know the overall health of the projects and where it is having an issue. There is a red, amber, green kind of an information, so that I will know where to put my efforts to overcome those or mitigate those risks to bring the project into green. That's the project health dashboard is going to help you on that. The data quality, right? While you're executing a project, right, the data becomes more and more important for the organization, right? If I am not having the proper information on the project, then I am missing something and it will end up in a risk. So ServiceNow also provide you a detailed data quality check across your project lifecycle. That okay, there are some 6 demands which doesn't have a business case, makes sense for the management to look after, right? Why I have to work on such demands which doesn't even have a business case? The demand doesn't have a manager. Likewise, you have a complete check of data quality to ensure that your projects are running on with the proper governance. And the calendar view, which typically helps you to put your plans in terms of completion, milestone, your stage gates, and other aspects of it, so that you're always up to date and you can sync it with your Outlook to ensure that you are not missing the dates on time for the execution of the projects. So that I'll just go to next tab. This is a demand workbench, right? When I get a demand, right, there will be a lot of people who is going to look into the demand. I'll just open one demand here. What all the information it is captured during the demand level itself. Okay, this is a qualified demand, right? You can see the information related to the demand itself. During the demand stage itself, you are giving more information so that the people who are going to look at the information at the later stage of the life cycle may not have any discrepancy or back and forth communication between the top level to the execution level people, right? So this demand life cycle, you can see there is a details of which portfolio it belongs to, what is the program, investment class, is it a revenue generating investment, or it is going to be a cost reduction, or a different type of initiatives which typically organization has it, right? Who is submitted this particular demand, what level of priority you are going to give, which business unit is going to incur the cost, and who are all the benefit, the departments that benefited because of this particular initiative or the project. And you can see the whole lot of related information, right? You can see who is the stakeholder for this particular demand, the risk, issues. These are the initial stage, just in a qualified state. Once you move from a qualified state to a project, then you start populating more and more risk issues, change resource plans, for an example. And I can just give an example over here. The moment I add a resource plan or a cost plan, it automatically changes the entire information over here in terms of ROI, in terms of people leader, in terms of the risk, everything will get changed over here. I'll just, for an example here, I'll put an analyst as a resource plan and just say I need it for the duration for 15-20 days, and on a FTE basis I need 3 FTE. So I'm just generating a plan during a demand itself that I may need a 3 FTE for this particular activity, and this is the start date and this is the end date. You can see that, right? Automatically it captures the hours, the cost associated with this particular resource plan, etc. And once I allocate the resource, it will go to the resource manager typically for allocation. Once I start clicking the resource request, it will go to the resource manager for allocating the resources for the specified time. Then the allocated resources will be reflecting over here. That means everything is digitized and processed, right? The resource manager will have a complete view of what is the available resource strength, capacity, what is the forecast of the resources, how many people are getting released from the existing projects, is there a need for a new hire, so that I can kick off the HR workflows to be kicked off. So it's all workflow driven. Yeah. So once I filled in all the things, it automatically picks up the risk, what is the value, and what is the size for the particular project, for the particular demand. I can able to visualize in the bubble chart, right? So I can able to take a better decision based on the size of the bubble. You can able to see whether it is a high value, high risk, or a small size, those kind of an interpretation on the data. Then you can take a call that, okay, this is very important for my organization. Even the risk is high, the value is less, but it is very strategic in nature, so I can convert those kind of a projects into a demand. Somebody muted me. Okay, fine. Can you hear me, guys?
We can hear you, Lakshmi.
Okay, great. So this bubble chart is going to help you on that. So once I approve, the demand gets generated to a project typically. Right? You'll have a create change or create demand budget or create baseline. So you will continue your workflow from there onwards. Right. So with that, the demand workflow, you can see the business case financials, which are typically the data driven, which you keep adding and enriching the data over a period of time. But from here, the demand gets generated into a project, which I'm going to look from a project manager view. Right. Okay. So this is the typical project manager. I log in as a project manager. So project manager is very much bounded with a certain set of projects or certain set of milestones which he has to complete, because that's a minuscule, right? So you have a strategy, a very large transformation, and one of the transformation is an IT that will be handled by one portfolio manager, and that IT has tons of projects which is handled by a single program manager or multiple project managers. So that's how the hierarchy goes like. So I take one project manager who is handling just 20 projects out of hundreds of projects across the larger transformation initiative. And his dashboard just looks like this. This is my 20 projects, which is having 306 overdue tasks. And I have a milestones which are missed 38 out of whatever the numbers I am having. And that's how it is going to be, right? So you have a lot of data specific to project. Multiple projects will give you the portfolio manager a view, say that, okay, out of my bucket, so many projects are having a risk and issues, and 3 action to be created, 5 change requests to be raised. This is the trend analysis around my benefits. These are the milestones which I missed it over a period of time. It's all just data, right? I can just double click over here my projects. I can able to view the records at the back end, right? I'm no need to go to somewhere else and look for information. I just double click it. I see all the 20 projects, what level of percentage it is completed at this given point of a time, who is the project manager, what portfolio you have, the complete control of the data, and you can able to drill down into each of these projects. So here I'll get into the project view. Project workspace. So this project workspace is where I'm going to look at what are all the projects which I'm owning and what level of percentage, whether it is green, yellow, what status it is belongs to. And if I want to drill down to each project, say for example, I take this SAP and ServiceNow integration as a project, which is 9.48% complete. I can drill down into the project lifecycle and project details, and what is the execution plan, and what is the financials associated with this particular project, and overall status of the project. Right? It's all in the single screen. It just takes time to load. Just give me a moment. Okay. So as a project manager, in one single screen, I can able to see my what phase it is in. It's in a planning phase. And this is the detail of the particular project itself, right? I have a project manager assigned. I have a team member, which is Troy McKay, which is joined as a part of this particular project execution. And this is the detail. And once it populates, I'll just explain that. So you have the complete visibility about your project, your correct resource plan, whether it is allocated or not. So it is 5 people are allocated, and this is a cost trend over a period of time, and this is the benefit how much you are going to get over a period of time, right? And that will give you the overall dashboard of the investment versus the benefit you are going to get, and how you are going to optimize it, right? Say when during the demand phase, I have an expectation of 100K as an investment and 200K as a return of investment. But during the project phase, as a project manager, I'm going to update. I may need 6 resources, not 5 resources. So automatically the benefits will go down, investments increases, right? So those kind of risk and issues will arise during the execution of the project or a planning phase of the particular project itself. So I am updating those details as part of my project life cycle, because the person who is sitting at the demand level may not have a complete insights of the execution timeline. You may have just a forecasted time or forecasted planning, but at the time of execution, there will be lots of challenges which will come on to the top of it. And again, you need to have a back and forth communication between your finance team, your managers, or the managers of the managers to to get the needed approvals, and how you are going to do that everything in a workflow driven system. I think it's some network issue. Just a second. Please feel free to put your questions on the chat so that we can start answering your questions as well. Yeah. So this is a typical project life cycle where you start with an initiation, which is actually transformed from the demand itself. Then you are in a planning phase that, okay, I accepted this particular project, then let me start planning it. So you will get a lot of information just get populated from your demand itself. So all these business cases, financials, you see everything has been graded out because it's all planned coming from your demand itself. But you also have a place to go and update your plans, right? So here you can see, right, the cost plans. I have 6 different cost plans, but I want to add as part of my cost plan, my execution plan, I want to add few people. I want to add a resource allocations, which maybe it's not sufficient for me to execute, so I need to add few people over here, right? And similarly, benefit, right? Whatever the demand manager populated may not be the right one or may not be the expected outcome they are going to get after the execution of the project. So I can modify that. So you can set your different type of resource plans, project tasks, right? You can set your project baselining of your projects as well, right? Okay, for this type of a project, these are my 9 different tasks has to be attached, and these tasks has to have this kind of a timeline period, which are baseline. You can use those baselines instead of creating from scratch. You attach your baselines and you which is actually a template, and then you can go ahead and save those projects as a project plan itself, right? And you can see here there is a planning console, which I'm going to take you through as well, so that you can see the Gantt chart, which typically have it in MPP, which you can either import it from an MPP sheet or you can build your own Gantt chart on the UI itself. So you can see the project budgets, what is the budget allocated for this particular project in FY19, FY20, what is the operating budget, what is your cost associated with that, and which baseline we are using it. We are using an FY20 modernization, which is a system generated, it's automatic, right? So we're setting your baseline so that it will be attached when you creating when you are defining your details of the project, whether in terms of portfolio, program, investment class, etc. Automatically it picks up which baseline has to attach to. So I'll click on planning console. The planning console is typically a Gantt chart. We'll have a similar feature like what is there in your traditional MPP sheet. We transformed into a system driven. So it's a UI based Gantt chart where you can put your all your tasks, subtasks, your milestones, stage gates, etc. Right? Okay. So you can see here, right? So this project of SAP and ServiceNow will have 5 stages, and you can have your subtask, and you also have a sub to subtask, right? Typically, you have it in your Gantt chart, and you can also see your plan start, plan end, and also you can have your additional fields like typically who is assigned to, is there any dependency on the previous task to be completed, right? So and so information. So here, so that will give you an easy planning console for your project planning. And the reason behind having it in a digitized way is whenever this particular task are completed, automatically the percentage of completion of the project gets updated. And if there is any delay in this project, also put your risk and the issues and the status of the project, whether it is in a green, red, based on the different parameters, which will be calculated to put your status to the board. So it's easy way. Otherwise, what happens in a traditional way is you maintain in an Excel sheet which may not be properly updated, and at the given point of a time, whether it is a green, red, or on what basis you're calculating is just a project manager's decision. In this case, it is everything is system driven with a logic, so everything is automated. Coming to the resources. Sorry for the internet problem. Yeah. So you can see the resources attached to this particular project. There is a 5 different people from 5 different can say like qualification is attached to this particular project, and you can able to see when they are planned, what is their allocation. Also, you can able to see the timesheets associated with this particular employees also in the subsequent tabs in the details itself at the bottom of the project status. So you will see the timesheets people logged in for the kind of work they are doing over the particular project. And finally, the financials and status reports typically more from a cost standpoint. What is the cost investment made on this particular project? What is the return of investments, and any other initiative, any other dependencies or need for more investments to be requested for, right? So those informations will be part of your financial summary, right? And you also have a resource allocation workbench. I think with the interest of time, I'll stop over here. And any questions? Happy to welcome hear from you. Over to you, Mayur.
Thanks a lot, Lakshman. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we saw from Sridhar how we can digitally transform your business by managing your infrastructure and processes. And Lakshman also went ahead and showed the real-time statistics and it's his analysis and how the really project is working and going on. I find it pretty cool that how a single tool can integrate with the multiple systems, takes care of your infrastructure and different processes, and also helps you to digitally transform your business and most probably and most importantly help you run your business. That's pretty cool for me. But it's just not my words. Our real-time successful customer also think that way. And today I'm going to share some of the success stories of some of our renowned customers which we faced and help them derive this solution and help transform their business digitally. So I hope you all can see my screen. So when it comes to ServiceNow ITBM, we really can't talk enough. With its jam-packed different applications such as application portfolio, financial modeling, demand management, resource management, project management, project and portfolio management, and agile delivery function, it really combines all the integrated business aspect together to transform your business digitally. So the IT business management helps you deliver what the business needs when they need it. These are from the standpoints of our customers, some of our renowned customers, and we will begin with the sharing their stories. But before that, I want to highlight on what sort of areas basically ITBM was responsible in order to transform our customer big businesses. When it comes to ServiceNow ITBM, it basically supports your business vision. It supports enterprise-wide portfolio management and align IT and business initiatives and all other relevant functions according to it. It aligns software and infrastructure to business operations. It provides you the necessary information to make value-based decisions, and it optimizes application impact on business capabilities, providing all the other areas such as APM, ITOM, SAM, and it really helps you scale the delivery to adjust plan. It basically helps you expand your service delivery with agile and DevOps work supporting IT initiatives. There is so much to talk. There is so much to share about how our customer view it, how our customer success journey has been. But due to lack of time, we are going to pick some of the customers who are aligned with today's webinar agenda, which is cost and resource optimization with smart business planning. The first customer here, what I would like to discuss about, it's a banking customer that is founded in 1950s. It is typically held a private bank, but it's worth more than $10 billion with its economy for companies in around US and Canada regions and its borders. And here we are talking about a banking sector that provides full service banking, such as wealth management, investment, and insurance to individual as well as businesses. Also, it includes government, public, and non-profit organizations. Recently, due to certain regulatory policy changes in their government, the bank found themselves in a really comfortable position, and it started to grow with an unparalleled speed. As a result of such a rapid growth, the bank had attained a threshold that required greater governance, and it needed to satisfy new regulatory controls. It was already using a range of project portfolio management system, but did not have comprehensive view across its project portfolio and programs with all the necessary controls. To support such a requirement for the greater governance, customer needed to standardize with single PPM solution that would reinforce and enhance existing processes as well as deliver additional capabilities and controls. We have faced an unparalleled growth. The bank has faced an unparalleled growth and unparalleled challenges, and it got an unparalleled solution in terms of ServiceNow ITBM. And the solution typically focused on standardizing and enhancing its PPM modules. As the bank was already using ServiceNow ITSM module, it decided to leverage its existing knowledge of system and standardization of PPM solutions. The bank attempted to deploy the new solution and optimize its PPM processes and capabilities. Using a Scrum process, ServiceNow PPM was deployed in just a single month, and it was deployed for around 40 users across 3 organizations. In addition to helping to establish standard processes and guidelines, as well as audit and quality review procedures, the system ensures the adherence to the new regulatory control, and that configuration also went well. The new solution included additional modules to extend banks' PPM capabilities, such as centralized demand management, portfolio reporting, program management. And here we are talking about a multi-year initiatives. Having said that, with all its implementation, the bank attended a lot of benefits in supporting its growth and compliances. The bank has standardized currently and strengthened its approach to PPM, which will safeguard not only compliance but also its investment in strategic projects and programs. The bank is also currently in a process of an upgraded solution to provide greater automation and functionality. This will further increase the company's agility and in order to movement of its demand and portfolios, and this will really cultivate its business. This particular implementation of ITBM for ServiceNow saved hundreds of hours for its different sector, including banking and financing and all of that, and that resulted into definitely the cost saving, which is really our current agenda. The next customer and next success story I would like to share about is basically a customer that is complete, that I would say a completely alignment with our today's agenda with cost and resource optimization, and it really optimizes its cost and resources for its digital transformation. You can imagine the customer's diversity, since its CIO consists of PMO, IT governance, compliance, IT finance, service management, IT strategy, and procurement. The team desperately wanted a modern solution for service management, but also wanted the capabilities to meet their IT project management, compliances, and IT finance as well. Self-service and transparency for IT and its internal customers was another need. The business case and the value proposition of having one integrated system to manage the majority of a processes did not make any sense for the customer in the beginning. They understood how much they are struggling with an email, phone calls, centralized documents such as spreadsheet, and that too for their day-to-day business execution. They wanted a better way to systematize and optimate their automation and the request processes. When before in the meeting, when the solution was proposed to them, these were the words from the solution and compliance manager that it's about productivity and the ability to monitor and track the world that you are responsible for. They felt their need and they found their solution. And the solution was, yes, the ServiceNow ITBM modules. And it's all around modules. There is a common wisdom, we call it a modern wisdom, that is running around in our customers and in our close proximity. You could do a lot more and a lot faster with ServiceNow. In the beginning, the customer started to use a ServiceNow service automation suite to run business for IT. They also wanted to create a centralized portal for employees to make various requests to solve issues through knowledge base. Also check the status of request and find information during an emergency. The client automated their IT functions. They quickly realized the potential of ServiceNow. With these new potentials, the customer understood just by optimizing its IT solution and an ITSM modules, they saved hundreds of working hours for spread it across different organizations and different departments per week to run their businesses. There were 500 plus unique requests and approvals that were created, and this was amazing for the customer just by understanding what is the IT and service management capability of ServiceNow is. After that, they went for a 3-day ServiceNow admin class, and within a month, an incident and change management application were up and running. Guys, within a month, ServiceNow was live for IT. From there, the team began developing a centralized self-service portal and started creating custom application to automate its service and its platform according to its business needs. This benefits and these business implementation after the ITSM implementation did not stop over there. The real implementation and the real impact it had was applying the service management across the enterprises. For instance, out of office management. Rather than simply depending on away messages generated by each person email account, client can centrally manage out of office schedulings and approval. Previously, they were using some tool, but that was a little too less for them. Here we are talking about an automated system that essentially contain 30 plus different reasons why an individual can be out of the office. And there was a different and distinctive workflow running behind them. For example, vacations are handled differently than education and education leave and everything. Everything can be tracked and reported through a dashboard and analyzed in various reports. Benefit for that was this whole system could be integrated with HR and payroll system. And here is the direct benefit, and it really helped them reduce the gap between the resource management and where was the gap is. The next was with the governance, risk, and compliances. When you're talking about certain ITBM modules or certain ServiceNow solutions, it just does not, its impact and its benefits does not just stay within its proximity. It expands, and it expanded in a number of ways. Using the ServiceNow IT governance, risk, and compliance application, the team was able to start monitoring IT compliance and risk by importing the entire IT risk matrix as well as their controls. Then the team could create both the manuals and automated controls they needed to ensure the compliance. This provided them a number of benefits. First of all, everything was integrated within a single system. Benefits for audits. When someone looks at a policy from an audit perspective, they are also looking at risks, controls, and control tests. And at the same point, they will know that the customer, and they can validate that the customer is also testing for the policies. Another benefit was the change of command and separation of duties can be validated within a single look. This whole functionalities and this whole implementation resulted in business continuity and emergency precedence. Pre-precedence, I'm sorry. Through a self-service portal, the team developed an anytime, anywhere disaster-proof way of getting essential information to be disbursed to the employees. This provided the greater business continuity, and it saved a lot of time for the resources. Having lived through a disruption such as Hurricane Sandy, they wanted to ensure that the company would run without interruption, even during catastrophic event. The site provided information based on the roles and responsibilities as it needs to, and other emergency documents can also be delivered to the customers. In order to handle such a catastrophic event, in order to lived by such a catastrophic event, the customer really understood the information and critical information sharing value among the employees, and that saved them a lot of time. None other than security and monitoring purposes of the organization. With a minor customization to ServiceNow problem management, the team created a way to track and monitor security related incidents. This time, the company got an ability not only just to monitor all the security related aspects, but also to monitor uh, the lost iPhones or attempted hacking attacks. This facility really gave them the ability to monitor and track their security related aspects. Well, this is how the employees were optimized, and this is how the time management and resource management solution were brought in, and the proper utilization was taking place. It also hugely benefited in its IT finance management. Applying these aspects to the IT finance management, the customer benefited in its IT budgeting. When we are talking about IT budgeting, they got a fully functional budgeting tool that for the first time gave the CIO online real-time budget information without having to wait for the information to be generated and supplied via, you guessed it, spreadsheets. This updated application allows IT manager to input their budget information and check the actuals against the budget lines. Purchase orders. Client modified a little bit modification over the purchase order module of an asset management and is now utilizing for generating purchase orders. And they are also printing it. Vendor management and contract management. All of the company's IT vendors are managed via ServiceNow vendor performance management application, along with their respective contracts. There is now an integrated system that is integrating vendor, contract, and its IT finance and budget management. This sort of IT management and finance management uh, implementation saved around 10% in the reduction of the cost of managing its IT from the earlier budget. That is something when we are talking about multi-billion organizations. It also having implementing such a massive solutions, the customer also were able to implement its the ServiceNow ITBM modules for its project and portfolio management systems. With ServiceNow project and portfolio management application, the team has now developed an IT project portfolio application. That's a mobile application, which provides the status of all the IT projects at a single glance. This app allows appropriate project manager to provide status updates for the project that are they responsible for. This also provides the leadership and the CIO staff the visibility in a single glance about the projects that are in plan and projects that are currently going on. Having said that, managing facilities and service automation was also made easy due to ServiceNow ITBM implementation. Using the ServiceNow Facility Service Automation application, the client IT team changed the model for making requests for reporting issues and facility division from email and phone and call based procedures to an employee self-service portal. This was a massive change and transformation for the organization. The email, phone, and spreadsheet based things are moved to employee self-service portal for further automations. These requests are automatically assigned to facilities team. Urgent issues are optimized for the immediate responses. How quickly they were able to manage it. The manager has got a clear insight about how this implementation is going, how the project is being managed, and how each resource is working on. This is the real-time manager's feedback that 8+ hours saved for each resources per week, and which can be utilized very effectively for an organization this big. For the conclusion of this vast implementation in all of its sector, the business and service management currently is now part of a customer IT strategy. Client IT understands now how automated service models could apply to almost every department and function within the company. Definite moving away and transforming from email, phone calls, and spreadsheet application to an automated system where everything is integrated by a single data model and managed structure. This profoundly changes the way the work gets done. It also brings a new level of reporting and understanding. Almost all of the time you spend on service now is to develop or test enhancement to feature and functionality. There is an interesting part. You don't have to spend any time dealing with the server configuration, patches, or upgrades. It doesn't get any better than this from a productivity and time to market standpoint. These are the words for the CIO. Demand for service, businesses, and project management is spreading across the company. Based on the success with the ServiceNow platform, other divisions are also begin to asking for a solution. For a customer, getting this rolled out shows the ServiceNow is working beautifully and it's growing organically. And there is a sort of a modern wisdom that we got from this working from this working for this organization. If a group is using a spreadsheet to maintain data and organize work, it should be brought into ServiceNow. That makes it actionable and that makes it traceable. This was our success story for the customers. Well, there are a number of success stories that we have that can be shared, and we will leave it for the for the next webinars and for the next demonstration that we will plan. So thanks a lot for that, and over to you, Rahul. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mayur. That was really a very interesting, you know, showcase of the use cases. And I'm sure our customers are benefiting from the ServiceNow ITBM module heavily. So, okay, so now we have reached to the end of today's webinar. I see we have received a lot of questions, but due to lack of time, we cannot answer all the questions, but we have kept a note of it and we will reach out to you shortly with answers and appropriate details. In fact, if you have some more questions later on ITBM module or on ServiceNow platform as a whole, please feel free to reach us on info@dxsherpa.com. And moreover, recording of this webinar will be available online. Please check our LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube page. You can also visit our website, which is www.dxsherpa.com, for a whole bunch of information on ServiceNow and enterprise digitization. And lastly, I really appreciate everyone for joining today's webinar. We will keep you informed about our upcoming webinar series that we have. So thank you once again, everybody, and take care of yourself. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.